I really wanted to take some time today to think about how I wanted to explain the fearful avoidant in a video that, is respectful and also shows their unique characteristics that a fearful avoidant contain. I've seen attachment styles blow up dramatically over the past couple years, and I wanted to make sure that I didn't go down the same path that others have went down because I believe that the fearful avoidant is one of the most fierce lovers I've ever encountered. I've worked with so many people that has been, I guess if you can call it diagnosed, misdiagnosed as someone that was a dismissive avoidant or even an anxious attacher. But the interesting thing about this attachment style, aka disorganized attachment style, is it isn't completely dismissive or anxious. They have characteristics of both. And this is something that I see a lot of other coaches talking about, but they don't truly understand how to navigate a relationship with a fearful avoidant because they often give you the canned advice of just run the other direction, cut these people off. But here's the thing about the promised land of being with a fearful avoidant. When they're in love with you, you will definitely know. There won't be any if, ands, or buts about it because they are so spiritual and they're so intense when they do fall in love with you. But on the other side of the coin, they can be very cutting and damaging and volatile when they have been triggered or when I call them a trauma landmine. When you step on a trauma landmine, they will cut you off. It'll be as if you've never existed, and you will not see a more fierce fighter than someone who is a fearful avoidant. So in today's video, I'm going to try to do them justice. I'm going to talk about what a fearful avoidant looks like when they are in love with you. And I'm going to give you 5 ways that they actually show their love for you. If you want to know what your attachment style is, you can go to my website. I have a quiz on there, and it also gives you a downloadable attachment style healing guide. It's going to be for free if you go and sign up on my website, or you just enter your email and you'll get that for free. The first thing that I've seen is they draw you in and then they panic and then they push you away. This is the hot and cold that a lot of people talk about. I've worked with someone recently that's a fearful avoidant, and I actually coached them as a couple. And I have used myself as kind of like the mediator or translator for each of the love language. One is a dismissive avoidant male, the other one is a fearful avoidant woman. And the dismissive avoidant man is really working on healing his attachment style. He's doing some groundbreaking work when it comes to being mindful about, when he's pulling away, when he's dissociating, and when he needs a space, he's able to communicate that way better. But on the other side, the fearful avoidant lady is truly struggling to trust him because she's got some really deep rooted things that happened to her in the past that she's just trying to work through. So we've been doing some really good work, and they're actually a lot calmer of a couple. And that's how you know when the relationship is becoming more secure. You see this calm. Every now and then you get the rocking of the boat. You'll get like Stan Tacken talked about in Wired for Love. You'll see the wave come splashing back to the shore and then receding. But now those waves aren't as often because they're kind of entering that bliss state of the relationship where they're getting through the power struggle stage. But in the beginning, you saw a lot of the sabotaging of really good nights, really good nights, really good events. They'll go out for dinner, they'll have a good time, but then something will happen where the phone will get her triggered, and she'll go through the phone or whatever it is that she typically does when she's feeling triggered, and it just caused this whole snowball effect of emotions and conflict that she really has a hard time reeling it back in after she's been triggered. So you see this a lot with fearful avoidance because the vulnerability, the calm, it feels unsafe. It feels like something's wrong here. What am I missing? This person can't be truly a healthy person, or this person can't be a pure person in my eyes. There's got to be some secrets. The other shoe has to fall at some point. But just know when they panic, it's because they're scared. They're scared of the direction that the relationship is going in. They're so used to dysfunction and chaos that this calmness, I mean, they literally live the calm before the storm type of mentality. The second thing that they do is they try to meet your needs, but they really don't know how. They have never been shown healthy mature, safe love before. So when they're trying to meet your needs, they're going to be constantly second guessed if they're doing the right thing. Like, did you really like that gift? Or are you just saying this? Do you really like the food that I cooked you? Or are you just saying that? The trust wounds are just so deep because of the complex traumas that they've experienced. Is just so deeply rooted that it takes a lot of unrooting. Like, I'll get crisis calls from her pretty often, and they've been less and less because now she's learning how to self-regulate and to challenge her thoughts. Challenge, I call it the wheel of cognition. I don't know if this has already been created before, but this is something I do with some of my clients is I'll have them draw a circle, and at the top, there's this external event that happens. It's almost like a clock, right? You have 4 points on the clock. 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock. At the top of the wheel is there's an external event that happened. And at 3 o'clock, there's what you believe about that event. And your beliefs drives literally everything as a fearful avoidant. If you believe that, oh, this person was intentionally trying to hurt me, this person is nefarious, or this person is untrustworthy, if they believe that about you, then we're going to go to the 6 o'clock, how they feel about that belief. So the feeling about that belief is probably going to be negative. It's going to be anxious. It's going to be anger. It's going to be whatever your response is when you have a negative belief about someone. And that leads to 9 o'clock. I'm not going to make this a long video. I'm going to make this pretty short. It leads to 9 o'clock, which is your response about your feelings. So here's one perfect example. The guy was on his cell phone, right? And her automatic belief was, he's cheating on me. He's doing something dirty and foul. And it led to her getting upset right away. And her feelings led to her lashing out in a way that didn't really challenge her beliefs. I hope that makes sense. I explain this a lot better on coaching calls. The third thing that you'll see is they replay moments in their head pretty often when they care about you. They ruminate a lot. You should see some of the journals of fearful avoidance that I've worked with. They are massive. They really are dissecting how they're feeling. One of my clients said I'm an insight engineer. They're really trying to engineer their insights and their emotions about how they feel about certain events that happen. They question literally everything about themselves and about their relationships. Someone explained it pretty perfect. They said a fearful avoidant, they don't trust you and they don't trust themselves at the same time. So there's really no one to trust. And as you become more secure as a fearful avoidant, you start to at least trust someone. As anxious attachers, you trust the other person, but you don't trust yourself. As dismissive avoidants, you trust yourself, but you don't trust other people. But as a fearful avoidant, you trust no one. And that's a special type of hell on earth, right? That's a really tough place to be. So all it takes is one betrayal by someone that they're in a relationship with, and they will have a series of untrustworthy relationships that may not be rooted in any type of reality. The fourth thing that you'll see is they'll open up emotionally about a certain topic, and they'll only do that once. And I've seen it happen where a person will come back and talk about that topic, and because they buried it, they'll actually deny it. And it actually feels like gaslighting. Like, wait, you did tell me that, right? Like, no, I never said that. But because what they told you was such an emotional event, or like what they call them, a core event, they will probably deny it because they locked that chest back up and pretended like it never happened again. I've even seen where they have come up with alternate realities where they've believed they lived some other life because they have suppressed that memory so much that they don't want to believe that it happened. And the fifth thing that you will see is they'll come back after distance. One thing about fearful avoidance is once they have that rumination period, it actually makes their feelings for you grow a lot more. It's almost like a boomerang. Like you can throw the boomerang and it's going to come back. And sometimes it's going to come back faster and harder than when you threw it. So what they explain about this hot and cold dynamic is exactly that. If they start to sense that you're pulling away or you're not feeling the relationship as much, that's when that anxious side of them will get triggered. Unlike a dismissive avoidant. That's all the video I got for you guys today. And if you found this video of any value, please like, comment, share it with someone who you think will, enjoy it. You can also reach out to me on my other social media accounts. Instagram is I am Coach Court. TikTok is I.am.coachcourt. My website is www.fruitfulseeds with the Z at the end.com. Facebook is Coach Court. And always remember, when you go be loved, You'll never have to find it. God bless.